Hello guys, this is Ashmita with Crafters Corner, and I am going to show you a little bit of a tutorial. It's not exactly a tutorial, but a couple of instruction, you can call it, as to how I do my miniatures, because I've had several requests how to put these together. So I just want to do a walkthrough. And what we are going to be altering today is this little photo frame, and let me quickly show you how it looked. This is the back, and that's the right way up, and it had this attachment, and it had a couple of screws that I just took off, and I took this thing apart, and I'm going to show you what I've done with it. But I'm going to just give you dimensions. It's really teeny tiny, and it's just about a little over 3.5 by 3.5 inches, and that's a square, and the entire frame measures about 6 inches. So it's pretty tiny, but I wanted to add as much detail in terms of miniatures. So you have to excuse my voice because I've been really sick. So what we have here is this is the back portion of this is the back portion of the frame that I took apart. And then what I did was I created a little shadow box or a configuration box, and you can see it's a perfect square, and this piece forms the back of my little shadow box. So and this is what gives me the ability to create a 3D construction. So my 1D frame turns into a 3D by adding these pieces, and let me give you the dimensions for that. This is a 2-inch piece, so the depth of my box or my room is going to be 2 inches. So I've taken these 4 pieces of chipboard, and I've painted them black, and I have constructed a little box out of them. So let's quickly move over to the other side, and here is my little scene that I've created, and I hope you can see all the little details in it. And I've used Kaisercraft papers to make the wall to do the wallpaper, and I'm going to put the link of this paper down below. And then you can see I have a little chest of drawers, and this one comes in a natural wood color. So I used picket fence to go over that, and then I used just to stain in the vintage photo, and I went over that, and I rubbed it off, so it gave me that really distressed age look. And those are the exact steps that I did for these little resin frames here. I painted them with the paint first, and then I used the stain to go over it, and then I rubbed it off, so you get that really ivory vintage look. And then I have the little bird cage down there, and I have a little teddy bear here, and the new telephone, of course, the new telephone charm, and the chain seems to have been tangled, and there you go. And I like to use a little pair of tweezers like this. And again, I have created a little bouquet of flowers using a large bead as my vase, and I have some little perfume bottles, and I hope you can see that in there. And over here I have just a broken button. So that's all the things that I am going to be putting in here, and I have a couple of finished pieces as well, and let me quickly show you. So I have this little piece, and this is not yet dried, but we're going to use it anyways. And I like using glossy accents for this because it dries quickly. And what we're going to do is I've created a little photo frame, and there's a picture inside. It's going to be more visible as the excuse me, as a glossy accent dries. So that will give you that framed picture effect. And I'm just going to turn my little scene so that I can get a clearer picture. And I'm just going to place my little frame in place, and I'm just going to adjust it the best way I want, angle it if I want to, or make sure it is perfectly touching the bottom surface and the glue gets the opportunity to work its magic. So I have that down there, and we'll have to wait for it to dry a little, but it should be pretty secure. And then I have created a little diary, and you can see it's really teeny tiny, and I've just taken a couple of printables and I've just grunged them up and used some inks and stains to give me that worn and torn look, and I've gone up and wrinkled them up, and I've like I'm doing right now, I've just folded the edges a little bit to give it some interest. And all I did was I wound a little string around it, and I added this little flower, and everything is stuck down so nothing is going to fall off. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, with my glossy accent, glue this little guy down on my chest of drawers. So I'm going to take a lot of glossy accent, and I'm just going to see the best possible location for this guy, and I'm just going to have that done there. So you can see how it's coming along. And the only thing I want to add at this point is this little trumpet charm, and I think this guy is so cute. So I just think that the bottom needs something. So I'm just going to take a ton of glossy accents, and you can see that how it's bubbling over the brim of the trumpet. And I'm just going to, I hope that doesn't spill, and maybe I'll just shed a little off. Okay, I wiped off a little bit of the glue, and I'm just going to, I hope I can show you guys, I'm just going to lay it down there over with the teddy, like so. And then of course you can wait for that to dry, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to, I'm going to show you how to close this the frame. And of course you must be wondering why my edges look so shabby, because I didn't paint them, because this is the part that's going to slide into my frame, and this is my frame. Sorry about that. This is my frame, and this has the little loop for hanging, so I know that this is going to be my top. And I have this little thing here, so I know that this is my orientation. This is going to be towards the bottom. So I'm just going to flip this guy over, and in fact I'm going to do it the other way around because I don't want my things falling off. I'm just going to place my frame, and if you've done a correct job, it should just slide right into it, like so. And I'm just going to flip it over and make sure it's all nice and snug. Just a little bit, and I think it's in. So there you go, you have your little miniature scene in a photo frame, and this is a custom made shadow box that you can do with any photo frame that you have lying around. This is a really old frame that I altered, and you can do the same thing. You can even construct your own photo frames, and you have this little shadow box feature at the back. And of course I'll go over with some construction strips and close that up to secure it. But that's how this thing ends up looking. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video tutorial with me, and I hope you guys are going to try making some of these at home yourselves as well. And if you have any doubts, or if you need me to do more tutorials, please leave your requests in the comments. Bye bye.